If you choose the logical over the emotional and you don't take you into account, you actually start to create disease in your body. Some personal finance stuff that I wish I knew earlier on is one of the biggest lessons of my life. I was helping someone that I love who's near and dear to me, and I financially did the right thing for them. But this is where it was my first lesson in terms of the fact that our emotional brain actually dominates more of the financial left brain logical. And I helped them organize to where they refinanced their house, got all their debts at a lower interest rate, did it on a mortgage so that it was tax deductible interest versus the 20% they were paying on all these other credit cards. And financially, it sucked the life out of them on an emotional level because they had a goal to have their house paid off by a certain date. When that didn't happen, what actually physically happened is that it created disease in their body. And that's when I really started to understand that there's this incredible integration of our health and our wealth. And our emotions are energy in motion. And that energy in motion has to go to what we want to create in our lives, as opposed to fixing everything that is more efficient and more left brain logical. You obviously need to fix your financial past, but don't do it at the cost of how you're trying to live in the present moment and create the future that you want. Because then what you wind up doing is that your past dominates you, and you can't get out of this rut, and you just keep recreating this debt cycle over and over and over again. So I wish I would have known earlier on how much our emotions and how they're tied to our money and our financial decisions, and how it can be extremely destructive to the creation of what we would like for tomorrow. When I'm having people take an approach to their finances, it has to do with really taking you, the individual, into account. Because there's lots of textbooks and smart financial people that logically have all the numbers figured out. The problem is that there's this incredible disconnect with the general public when it comes to the smart financial things to do. Because when you're figuring the numbers and you're saying, oh, well, fiscally, this would be the right answer, but that may not be alignment with you as an individual. And this is where when you choose the left brain logical thing over who you are as an individual, which is your emotions, which are energy in motion. So it's your financial energy in motion. If you choose the logical over the emotional and you don't take you into account, you actually start to create disease in your body. That is what years of doing this work has taught me, that you have to take your heart and your desires into account while also doing the fiscally smart thing to do. Because it's not an either or. And the challenge is, in my industry, logically, engineers, computer science, computer programmers, CPAs, all left brain logical people will always do the logical thing because it also takes them individually into account. But if you talk about people who work in the ad agencies or any creative type jobs, theater production, anything else, which is more of the population who operates more from their right brain financially versus their left brain, if you don't take into account who you are and create your financial system around that, you actually start to create a suffering pattern and you start to create financial destruction. And that shows up in our cash flows always being in disarray, and it shows up that you never get ahead of your debt. Like, that's the proof in the pudding. And you need to do both at the same time simultaneously, as opposed to choosing one over the other. Because it's also not good if you only do the emotional right brain thing and don't take the logical financial smart thing to do. It's an and, not an or conversation. To be able to approach your finances to take you into account while doing the smart thing at the exact same time. Do you want to experience free coaching based on my 25 plus years as being a financial planner and ask me any question that you want to ask me to help you get past that hurdle in your financial world? I run these free workshops every other month to start to open you up to start to help you get to this next place. The information for my free workshop, click the link below and register, and I'll see you on the next workshop. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and like and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because then you can get more knowledge all the time and be a part of a community that's actually going to lift you up.